Sonic, Amy, and Styx were walking through Hedgehog Village, making their way towards their favorite restaurant. They were passing the town hall in the village center when they saw a gathered crowd. Odd. There wasn't any kind of event today. The two hedgehogs would have heard about it. They decided to investigate.
Huh? What's up? Tax day's not for another week.
Finally, the people are ready to free themselves from the shackles of the government! Down with the mayor! Yeah!
Styx threw her shoe with Sonic narrowly dodging the object. The shoe sailed over the crowd and clocked Mayor Fink in the side of his head.
Ow! Who threw that?
Sonic approached the nearest person, who was Mike the Ox, putting a hand on his shoulder.
Hey Mike, what's going on?
We're rioting.
Yeah, I can see that.
What are you rioting about?
The mayor has gone too far this time. You wouldn't believe what he's done now.
Oh no. Did he take another bribe from the mafia?
No.
What, did another mayoral candidate disappear?
No.
Then what did he do?
He, well, he did what were we talking about again?
Down with the mayor!
Yeah, down with the mayor.
Look, I'll just go check it out. Amy, keep an eye on Styx.
Mayor Fink was bracing himself against the door of City Hall. Seeing Sonic approaching, the mayor perked up.
Sonic! Thank chaos you're here!
So, what's up?
Please, come to my office.
The mayor opened the door and the two entered inside. As the door closed behind them, the roar of the rioting crowd was silenced. They made their way to the mayor's office.
You came at the right time. We're faced with the greatest threat this town has ever seen.
You mean Eggman?
No, worse.
Who's worse than Eggman? Well, technically there's lots of people.
Then someone shrouded in darkness stepped into the light.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Shadow? Wait, how am I worse than Eggman?
No, you imbecile. I was just saying your name.
Look at you, Shadow. Emerging from the shadows.
Half of the mayor's office was literally dark, with only one side lit up.
I guess with all that embezzlement, I forgot to pay the electric bill.
So, what do you want, Shadow?
None of your business.
Shadow? Who are you talking to?
A yellow hedgehog girl wearing a blue dress, headband, and boots entered the room from a separate door. Her ears were folded down. She crossed the room, coming to the black hedgehog's side.
No one important.
Just then, Amy entered the room with her clothes disheveled and her quills messy. She was dragging Styx along with her, who was still missing one shoe. Styx flailed her arms.
Now! Now! The people need me!
Sonic, I need a hand.
Don't be a tool of the system, Amy!
Turning her head, Styx took notice of the other girl hedgehog that was in the room. It was someone she hadn't seen before.
Hey, who's the blondie?
Not these fools.
Shadow? What are you doing here?
Is everyone going to try and get into my business?
Well, it's your own fault for being all mysterious.
All eyes fell on the yellow hedgehog girl, taking notice of her presence and the fact she was standing close to Shadow.
Aren't you gonna introduce us to your friend, Shadow?
What part of none of your business do you not understand?
My name's Maria. Nice to meet you.
I'm Sonic. That's right, the Sonic the Hedgehog. No autographs though, please.
Who?
Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. Haven't you heard of me? Fastest thing alive? I saved this village from certain doom literally over 1,000,000 times.
Sorry, never heard of you.
Oh.
That knocked him down a peg.
My name is Amy, and this is Styx.
My office is not a hangout, you know. Sonic, would you kindly do the honors?
Oh, we have to leave? But we just got here.
Lifting a hand, Chaos energy began to crackle in Shadow's palm.
I'd like to see you try.
Oh, jeez,
Sonic bolted between Shadow and the mayor, pushing Shadow's hand aside.
Whoa! Let's talk this over. I mean, surely we can work out some kind of agreement here.
Mayor, isn't there anything that can be done so they can stay? What if Shadow takes a vow of pacifism?
Let's not ask for miracles, Amy.
Okay. How about if they did something to be productive members of society?
Like getting jobs? I don't know if that's going to be enough to convince me, but we only have so much time for these episodes, so I suppose we could give it a try. I'm only giving it a week, however. In that time, at least one of you must have a job, and neither of you can start trouble.
There, see? You can solve problems without violence.
Whatever.
The lot of them were being annoying. Shadow wanted to return to what they were doing before getting involved with the mayor. He tossed his head to the office door to indicate direction.
Let's go, Maria.
We're actually on our way to lunch. You guys should join us.
Not interested.
But before either one could move, Sonic grabbed Shadow's arm and started to drag him along as he followed Amy and Styx out of the mayor's office. Maria walked beside them.
Come on, be social for once.
Get your hand off me!
Are these friends of yours, Shadow?
I wouldn't say that.
As they went outside, Sonic looked around and noticed that the rioting crowd was missing, except for Mike the Ox.
Where did everybody go?
Oh, we got bored, so we're going home.
The group arrived at Manburger. Tails and Knuckles were already here, and they had secured their usual table for the group. It was the only table at the establishment that could hold more than 4 people. Knuckles raised his hand to wave to the rest of the team over, but the smile left his face when he saw Sonic dragging Shadow along.
What's he doing here?
Sonic finally released Shadow's arm.
No big deal, guys. He's just here to have lunch with us.
What for?
The mayor wanted Sonic to kick him out, but if he contributes to society in some way, the mayor agreed to let him stay.
That's weird. That doesn't seem like something the mayor would do.
Sonic pulled out a chair and plopped down. He waved his hand dismissively.
Look, Tails, we got only half an hour. You can't expect too much.
You guys ordered the food, right?
Yeah, we ordered the usual. Say, who's the new girl?
Maria. My close friend.
I'm Knuckles the Echidna. I'm the brains of the group. You know, smartness-wise. I also invented everything the group uses.
What?
Knuckles, for the millionth time, brain and brawn are not interchangeable. They have different meanings.
I'm also the leader.
As if. Don't listen to him. I'm the leader.
Some leader. Don't you mean the laziest one?
As you can tell, Amy's the buzzkill.
Buzzkill? Since when is being mature and responsible a buzzkill?
Anyways, I'm Tails, and it's me who's the inventor.
Oh, there's 2 inventors in the group?
It was at this moment that Dave, the Manburger clerk, appeared and plopped down one large plate which had burgers stacked in a pyramid shape. A second plate was placed down and it held a pile of french fries.
Here you go. Anything else I can get for you?
Can I have some ketchup?
Dave hiked his thumb towards one of the side counters which had packets of various condiments, straws, and napkins.
It's all right here.
Aren't you supposed to get it for him?
The clerk pulled out a paddleball toy and began to bounce the ball repeatedly before walking away.
I'm on break.
Ugh. Sometimes I wish I still had my restaurant.
If the service is so poor, why do you come here?
He had never actually came to Manburger before. His only experience with it was that one time he and Sonic fought. Their battle drifted into the restaurant and they knocked over tables and chairs. Then Shadow promptly left to go after Eggman. Not exactly an opportunity to learn about the business. Sonic plucked a burger from the pyramid pile and took a bite.
It's the only restaurant in the village. Either we come here or we depend on Amy to cook for us, cause, well, none of us can cook.
Maybe I can cook for everyone sometime.
You cook?
Oh, yes. All kinds of things. My specialty is Japanese cuisine.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better than the horse doctors Amy cooks for us.
That's okay. You don't have to go through the trouble.
Actually, I'd like to try.
Amy was cramming Sonic's burger into his mouth.
You better eat your burger before it gets cold, Sonic!
So, where are you from?
Well,
You don't have to answer that.
Who sent you?
well, there.
Don't answer that.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, what sound does it make?
What?
You don't have to answer that.
I knew it!
So, what do you do for fun, Maria?
I love to read books. I was hoping there was a library here.
Amy pulled away from Sonic, letting go of the burger. Sonic pulled the burger from his mouth and gasped a few times, recovering from the choking.
It'll be nice to have somebody in the village who can actually read.
What's that supposed to mean? I can read.
I was born to lead, not to read.
Well, maybe it wasn't so terrible to have crossed paths with Sonic, Shadow thought. Maria seemed to be making friends that was happy. He may not care for these people himself, but they could provide her company. Really, the only one he had dislike for was Sonic. The others were just annoying, and the only reason Shadow gave them any attention was because of their connection to Sonic.
I don't know. I don't think this friendship thing is a good idea. The moment we turn our backs, BAM!
Styx slammed her fist down on the table, smashing open one of the condiment packets, exploding ketchup all over Tails, who was sitting next to her.
Ah! Styx, come on now!
Suddenly, we're all 6 feet under. And you! What's your deal, Blondie? I bet you've got a machine of some sort that turns us all into robots.
Shadow slapped a hand on the table and leaned towards Styx, getting in her face.
Back off, Badger!
Hey, guys! Calm down. We're all friends here.
No, we're not.
He wasn't hungry, but Shadow's getting curious about the food this business was serving. If Maria was going to have lunch here, may as well inspect the food for quality. Glancing down at Sonic's burger that was missing some bites, he made an observation.
Shredded newspaper?
They added a new sauce so you don't taste it as much.
Frowning, Shadow plucked a french fry from the plate and examined it.
Is this made with cardboard?
If you don't like it, you can go somewhere else.
Dave started mopping the floor nearby.
We can't go anywhere else. Manburger is the only restaurant in town.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Shadow tossed the french fry back onto the pile.
Maria, you can't eat this. You have a condition. Your health comes first.
Then he turned to Sonic.
No wonder you're so slow.
Sonic leapt to his feet, knocking his chair backwards on the floor.
What was that?
You heard me.
Sonic circled around the table to get to his rival.
Take it back.
Dave cut in between the two hedgehogs, separating them. He put his hands on his hips and looked between the two with a frown.
It's against Manburger policy to have brawls inside the establishment unless you're a paying customer.
Hey, I paid for my meal.
I was talking about him.
Dave hiked a thumb over his shoulder at Shadow.
I wouldn't spend a single ring on this tripe.
Oh, there's no tripe. Manburger doesn't use meat products. Well, none that I can recognize.
A condition, you said? What kind of a condition?
Like, as in terms and conditions?
You just repeat things you hear, don't you?
You just repeat things you hear, don't you?
It's an autoimmune disease called NIDS.
Oh, I think I've heard of it. It's really rare. You get sick really easily, and it attacks your muscles, right?
What? It attacks your muscles?
Knuckles leapt to his feet in a panic. He hugged his arms as if trying to protect them.
My muscles won't get attacked, right?
It's not contagious.
I don't care if it's contingent.
You know, I bet Knuckles would be good at Mad Libs.
Who has angry lips?
Come on, Shadow. The food's not that bad. You should give it a try.
Shadow turned his head away to display disinterest.
Absolutely not. I don't ingest literal trash.
Come on.
Sonic grinned as he grabbed a burger from the pile and shoved it in Shadow's mouth. Aside from the putrid taste torturing his taste buds, Shadow could feel a foreign object getting lodged in his throat.
Oh-ho! Is it the golden screw?
Shadow grabbed the edge of the table and let out a hefty... An object shot from his mouth and landed on the table with a metallic chink sound. Sonic and his friends all stood from their chairs and leaned down to get a closer look at the screw. Plopping back down in his seat, Tails frowned.
Aw, you didn't win.
What kind of ritual is this?
That's too bad, Shadow. In any case, I feel awkward that here we all are eating, and there's nothing for you, Maria.
What about the mashed potatoes?
Let me guess. That's made of sawdust.
How did you know?
Wait, what about the salad? That's something you can have. It's made of actual vegetables, believe it or not.
Just don't get the salad dressing.
What's wrong with the dressing?
You don't want to know.
Off to the side, Dave lifted the mop and squeezed the soapy water into a bucket that had the label salad dressing ingredients.
Well, I'm willing to try the salad.
Sonic turned in his seat and snapped his fingers at Dave, who was still mopping the floor.
Yo, Dave, can we get a Caesar salad, hold the dressing?
Dave plopped the mop back into the bucket.
It's always something. I want this, get me that.
He walked away to go behind the counter and work on building the salad. Dave grabbed a bowl and turned to the supplies, gathering ingredients and mixing them together. Some of the items fell out of the bowl and tumbled onto the floor. Shifting his eyes side to side, Dave confirmed that no one was watching before picking up the fallen ingredients and putting them back in the bowl. He slapped the bowl on the counter.
One salad for Party Sonic.
Maria started to rise from her seat to get the salad, but Shadow held up his hand.
I'll get it.
Oh, thank you.
Shadow went to the counter and he reached out to pick up the bowl, but he paused when he noticed something about the salad. With a frown, Shadow looked at Dave.
What is this?
A salad? What else?
It's supposed to be a Caesar salad. You use iceberg lettuce and uncooked macaroni noodles.
Dave just blinked, displaying no interest. Shadow pointed down to the bowl.
There's a live fish in it.
Just as the black hedgehog stated, a fish was flopping around in the salad bowl, kicking out some of the ingredients. Again, Dave just blinked, treating Shadow just like he would any other customer. Shadow pinched a suspicious furry clump from the bowl with a grimace.
And apparently you have no sanitation standards. You need to correct this.
For the second time today, Dave pulled out his paddleball toy and proceeded to play with it.
Sorry, I'm on break.
This gesture got him off the hook with many a customer in the past. However, Dave was now dealing with someone who is different. Someone who wasn't going to put up with disobedience. As the sole employee of Manburger, it was Dave's responsibility to ensure that the ordered meal was proper. Yet, he was refusing.
I said, correct this!
Shadow grabbed the back of Dave's head and slammed his face down the counter next to the salad bowl. The fish fell out of the salad bowl and flopped around next to Dave's face.
Ow! Take it easy. Her bruised like a delicate peach.
You had better fix this or else you're going to find out how bruised you can get.
Okay, I got the message. No need to be so rough. Jeez.
Shadow released Dave, who righted himself and made a fresh salad bowl. This time the salad was made the way it was supposed to be with the proper ingredients, such as romaine lettuce. The disgruntled Nutria handed the new salad to Shadow with a frown.
Here, you happy?
Shadow took the bowl and made his way back to the table. Just as he sat the salad down on the table in front of Maria, an older man's voice sounded behind Shadow.
What a magnificent display of browbeating!
Turning around, Shadow found the business owner, an ox named Mr. Slate, coming towards him. He was an older man wearing a business suit and top hat. Mr. Slate was heavy set and sported a brown mustache that curled at the ends. Walking with his cane, Mr. Slate approached the angry Hedgehog.
I've never seen someone intimidate an employee so bad they actually started doing their job right. How would you like to be manager?
Excuse me?
Wait, what?
You want me to be a manager?
I need somebody to whip this employee into shape, and you seem to be really good at it.
Dave hopped over the counter and came running up to the CEO.
But Mr. Slate, I thought I was going to be manager. What about me?
The fact of the matter is, my dear boy, you stink.
What am I expected to do?
You get to boss him around and make more money than he does while he does most of the work. So what do you say? Are you interested?
Not really, no.
Wait a second, Shadow. This is your big chance. The mayor said you had to get a job. If you work for Manburger, that'll get the mayor off your back.
Think of how good a manager position will look on your resume.
You like pushing people around. At least this way, you'll get paid to do it.
Oh, and that would mean we would get to stay.
I'm just agreeing with everyone so I don't get left out.
I knew he was a corporate shell.
Shadow looked among everyone that were staring at him as they waited for his decision. All but one were supporting the offer, but it was Maria's words and the look of hope on her face that was the tipping point. He didn't want to disappoint her.
Fine. I accept.
Excellent. We shall see you tomorrow.
Unbelievable! You're employing this miscreant? This town won't be safe for my baby!
Oh yeah, like you're the pinnacle of child safety, lady.
Isn't that your child over there?
Maria pointed to the awning over the counter. Chumley, the baby walrus, was toddling along the roof.
Oh, my baby!
The ox turned around to leave. Dave shot Shadow a scowling look. That manager position should have been his. Dave was the one with the experience in Manburger. He knew the place forwards and back. Shadow knew nothing about this place and was going to require a training period. It just wasn't fair. Suddenly, Mr. Slate slipped on the wet floor Dave had mopped and he fell on his back on the hard wooden floor.
Ah! What in blazes? Why aren't there cones?
Aren't you gonna say something to Dave about that?
Why? I'm not on the clock.
The following day, Shadow was behind the counter with Dave, reading the employee handbook. Unlike Dave, who had to wear the uniform shirt, Shadow was exempt due to being a manager. Shadow was grateful for that, as if he would be caught dead wearing something so tasteless. There were a few minutes before Manburger opened, so Shadow was looking through the handbook to get caught up on what he was supposed to do.
Welcome, new employee's name here to Manburgers, where the customers always...
He squinted his eyes at the text as he went quiet for a moment. Then Shadow lifted his head from the book and looked at Dave.
Tell me that's a misprint.
See? That's what I said.
Shadow tossed the book over his shoulder, not caring where it landed. The book struck Dave in the side of his head.
Ow!
Forget this. I'm going to do this my way. All one needs is common sense anyway.
You won't last here with that kind of attitude.
Manburger opened for lunch period and found itself with the usual crowd of customers, including Sonic and friends.
I don't get it. We don't usually do Manburger 2 days in a row. What's going on? Did you find out that the aliens were using Manburger to transmit secret messages to their home base?
Amy rolled her eyes.
Oh, for chaos' sake, no! We're just checking up on Shadow and making sure everything is okay.
I still can't believe he took this job.
Yeah, 'cause we all know how much of a people person Shadow is.
How many customers do you think he's assaulted?
Like all of them.
The group got in line to await their turn to submit their order. Ahead of them was Fastidious Beaver. Working the register was Shadow. A little concerned about this, Sonic turned his head and found Dave restocking the condiments table and filling napkin dispensers on the tables. The Beaver finally walked away with his order on a tray and took a seat. Sonic and friends moved forward for their turn. Leaning his elbow on the counter, Sonic smirked.
So, how's it feel to take orders from people?
Silence.
How does this work now? If I order a burger from you, are you gonna poison it?
Is that a request?
Guys, knock it off.
Alright, we'll just take our usual.
I have no idea what that is. It's my first day and blah blah blah. I don't care.
It's only day 1 and already you sound like Dave.
We sound nothing alike.
Will you hurry up? We don't have all day.
Fine. We'll have 5 Manburgers, 3 orders of fries, 5 sodas, and some ketchup packets.
That'll be 1,200 rings.
Shadow's fingers were blurred as he quickly typed the order in the register. Sonic plopped the money down the counter and Shadow took the rings, tossed them in the register, then turned around. Turning back around within seconds, he set down a couple of trays with the requested items.
Oh wow, that was fast.
You should see me when I actually try.
Wait a second!
Amy lifted a couple of the burger's buns and inspected the contents.
Huh? They're exactly what we ordered?
Knuckles poked at one of the paper bowls of french fries.
And the fries are actually cooked this time.
Tails scooped up the collection of ketchup packets with both of his hands, smiling.
Ketchup! There's ketchup! There's really ketchup!
Sticks picked up one of the sodas and jiggled the cup, listening to the sound it made.
And you didn't water down the soda either.
Is there a problem?
Not at all, actually.
Sonic picked up one of the trays. Knuckles picked up the other tray, and the group left the counter, taking their usual seat. Sticks plucked one of the burgers from the stack.
You know, maybe this won't be so bad after all.
Wow! These tables are so clean you can actually eat off of them.
I gotta admit, already things are better than before.
Tails ate one of the french fries after swiping it through a ketchup pile. He smiled and closed his eyes.
Mmm, so crispy.
Sure, you like getting exactly what you order now. And hot fries and sodas not 75% water in a restaurant that follows health codes. But just you wait. You'll see. He'll turn.
After servicing a couple more customers, Shadow was approached by Maria in the line for the counter. Hopefully she wasn't going to order any of this slop.
What are you doing here?
Maria bore a sweet smile and she produced a bento box that was wrapped in designer cloth and tied at the top.
I know you don't approve of the food here, so I thought I would bring you some lunch you can have on your break.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Shadow accepted the box.
Well now!
Turning their heads, the two hedgehogs gave the CEO their attention as he approached them. With a wide smile, the ox went on as he examined Maria.
You didn't tell me you had a little woman!
Eavesdropping on the conversation from their table, Amy frowned.
Isn't that phrase archaic?
Mr. Slate held out his hand towards Maria.
That's the kind of image Manburger is all about! Family!
But we don't have children.
Close enough! In any event, this is a great image you're creating for the company. Business is bound to boom! Here, have a raise!
Mr. Slate pulled out a bag of money and plopped it on top of the bento box Shadow was holding. Maria clasped her hands together with a smile.
Oh, wow! Your first day and already you received a raise for doing well! I'm so proud of you!
The package of napkins in Dave's hand slipped from his hands and dropped on the floor, spilling the napkins. Dave couldn't believe what he was hearing.
He gets a raise for that? What about me? I've been working here for 5 years.
Who are you again?
Pick up those napkins.
You heard your manager. Clean up your mess.
That was just the beginning of troubles for Dave. Things only got worse from there. The following day, Shadow had assigned to Dave to mop the floor. He grumbled about it, but Dave got it done. He mopped from edge to edge of the whole establishment, including behind the counter. When it was done, Dave plopped the mop inside the bucket of soapy water.
Okay, it's done.
Is it?
Arms crossed as usual, Shadow surveyed the floor, eyeing every floorboard.
Looks to me like you missed several spots.
What are you talking about? Every inch is slippery enough to drum up some lawsuits.
Then explain this stain.
Shadow stomped his foot down next to a miscolored spot on the floor.
It's a stain. It's been there for over 2 years. You can't remove it.
Only because you're lazy.
Shadow pressed Dave down to the floor with his foot. The stain was right up in Dave's face.
Remove it! I want this floor so clean Sonic could eat off it, like the pathetic dog he is!
Adding salt to the open wound, Mr. Slade arrived for another visitation. The first sight he saw was Shadow holding Dave down the floor with his foot, commanding the employee to remove a floor stain.
I knew I made the right choice in hiring you. Such tact.
That's not the word I would use.
Shadow removed his foot and Dave lifted himself from the floor. As Dave started scrubbing the stain with the hand brush, Mr. Slade slapped Shadow on the back of his shoulder.
Excellent work. You actually got him to do something.
Don't touch me.
Here's another raise.
Mr. Slade held out another bag of money to the Black Hedgehog.
Isn't this unethical?
Probably, but it's not illegal in this town, so...
It was Friday, and the phone orders were pouring in like they normally did. Shadow hung up the phone after taking another call for a pickup and gritted his teeth.
It just never ends.
Tell me about it. The phone rings like 200 times a day.
Oh no.
Like that customer that ordered a veggie sub, then complained when there was no meat in it. Or they complain about the prices of the food.
Then there was that girl who kept trying to give me her phone number.
That never happened to me.
Can't imagine why.
You know, Shadow, we're not so different, you and I.
We are nothing alike. Here, take the counter. Someone has to fill these orders and only one of us will do it right.
Shadow walked to the back area to begin work and Dave shuffled to the register. The first person to approach the counter was Lady Walrus.
I would like to use this coupon for my order. It says I got 50 rings off an order of chicken nuggets.
I can't accept this coupon. It expired 6 months ago.
I know, but it says I get 50 rings off.
And the coupon is expired. You can't use it.
I demand to speak to a manager at once.
Hey, Shadow, a customer wants to speak to the manager.
What now?
I want to use this coupon, but your employee refuses to accept it. I will go to social media and blast this company if you don't honor your coupons.
It expired 6 months ago. You can't use expired coupons.
My baby can eat chicken nuggets at full price. I have a coupon.
You can't use expired coupons.
It says I will get 50 rings off.
You know what? Dave, make the lady an order chicken nuggets.
Shadow plucked the expired coupon from Lady Walrus.
And I'll just take this coupon.
Dave went to the back to fill a paper bowl with chicken nuggets, then he set it on the counter. Holding eye contact with Lady Walrus, Shadow smacked the bowl off the counter so the chicken nuggets spilled on the floor.
Oops.
That evening, Dave was attending the usual meeting with the Lightning Bolt Society. Normally they would be drumming up ideas for villainous plans, but tonight was different. Dave was pacing back and forth while his friends all watched him with concern. He had been ranting about his job.
All the customers are happy, and it's freaking me out. Sales are up. Apparently he saved the company money by reducing the number of french fries per order by 3. All the tables have full napkin dispensers. The place is so clean the cockroaches stop crawling around on everything. The worst part is, he made me do my job.
Sounds like a pretty good manager to me.
Not you too.
I've got to be honest with you, Dave. Maybe you should just quit and get another job.
Yeah, I prefer getting my food hot.
You're the only one who's not happy, Dave. You need to do something to change that. A new job, Will.
No! What I need to do is get revenge. Revenge so bad it'll drive Shadow out. Then I'll be on top at Manburger again.
Were you ever on top?
And I know just what to do.
Dave marched towards Manburger with confidence in his stride and a sly grin on his face. He had a plan and he knew it would work. After today, things would change for the better for Dave. His work life would go back to normal. Mr. Slate would have no choice but to notice him and pay him right. Maybe even make him a manager at last. Suddenly, Dave stopped in his tracks. In front of the restaurant, Mr. Slave was with Shadow and Maria. Shadow was handing the store keys to the owner.
Wait! You can't quit now! You've made vast improvements here! Business is booming and we've moved up from 1 star on Yip and Goggle reviews! Mobius Eats was finally willing to add Manburger to its list!
I'm done. Find someone else.
The 2 hedgehogs walked away from Manburger, leaving Mr. Slate behind, who was in a state of shock. Well, so much for executing his evil plan, but Dave still saw opportunity. He approached the CEO.
What am I going to do? How will I find another person to fill the manager role?
You know, since the position is open.
No.
I don't understand. Everything was going so well. What made you decide to quit?
I couldn't keep my training regimen,
Maria rolled her eyes.
and it was taking me away from you.
That's okay. I support your decision.
Thank you.
Sonic soon arrived at Manburger to pick up an order. Dave had the bags on the counter ready, but when Sonic came to the counter, a smile dropped on his face when he saw it was Dave here.
Where's Shadow?
He couldn't handle the pressure of working fast food, obviously, so he quit.
Does this mean you were the one who made our order?
Yep.
Ugh, great. I guess we're back to lackluster service and food.
Dave hefted a massive jar almost the same size as him, which was labeled artificial sweetener, and plopped it on the counter with a thump.
Don't worry, I'll get things back on track.